Your next assignment on here is going to be about the Cuban Missile Crisis. And by the time you're done, you should know exactly who these two men in the picture are, what they're sitting on, what this arm wrestling match represents, and why they're profusely sweating there. In the first part of the assignment, what you're going to need to do is figure out what happened exactly. What's this whole event about? There's a movie here, it's about 10 minutes long. You'll have to listen to it. It's going to be a lot of pausing and stopping and going back and answering the questions. The questions are all in order. So 23 questions in this area. And then there's this little note here. If the video didn't make sense, watch this video before going on to part 2. This is just more of a summary, maybe a little bit more fun. It's musician artists, basically a coloring book version with a guy singing about Cuban Missile Crisis. Going on to part 2, here you're going to look at the causes of the Cuban Missile Crisis. So you have these 3 main causes found on this website here. The first thing you need to do is summarize the cause. Look at what they say about the cause on this website, put it into your own words. The next part will be a little bit harder. You're going to explain how it caused the crisis. So what actually happened? What were the connections there? Part 3, people. As you listen to the interview, answer the questions below. The transcript is also there. So on here, we need to look at some of the people that were involved. And when I click on this website here, this is the story. It's not a video, it's just a podcast kind of thing. So you can press play and listen to it. It's also helpful sometimes to go down and look at the transcript. And almost to the end, part 4, leaders. This is just a little cartoon for your amusement. As you watch the films for Castro, Kennedy, and Khrushchev, fill in the chart below. This means you're watching 3 different videos and making inferences from the videos. So what country is he the leader of? Cuba, United States, Soviet Union. What are the experiences about? What images are used to show these experiences? In these videos, they're going to talk about experiences from other times within the leader's life. So with Castro, you'll hear a story from his childhood, a game that they used to play. And then you're going to have to figure out what characteristics of his personality are portrayed. Historians want to analyze the events, they also want to analyze the people, and they want to figure out why did that person make the decisions that they did, and what about their personality made them make those decisions. So these stories that they tell, they're going to give you some insight into their personality. And the last part, what are the goals during the missile crisis? All 3 men had very different goals. And finally, the last part, who cares? Watch this video for one last question. It's a short video, I think it's like 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And then you just have another essay answer. Why was the Cuban Missile Crisis so important? What's the big deal? Who cares? Make sure you fully explain your answer. Back your answer up with evidence. You can use any of the sources found on this page, or if you want to do your own research, go for it. Make sure you're using the RACE method and look at the rubric. Cite your sources, it'll tell you everything to do with there. When you finish, email me the link. There's also this little section down here, interested in learning more. If you want the Khan Academy version of the Cuban Missile Crisis, that's a good video. It's pretty long though. 13 Days in October, it goes over bit by bit what was going on during this time. And this is just a cool article about the different stories from it. NSA unclassified documents, if you want to actually look at what XCOM was seeing, and so on.